Hey ladies and gentlemen of the internet, my name is Adrian for Digital Dojos, and today we're going to be taking a look in first impressions and setup of Apple's latest AirTags. So if you don't know, Apple recently had an event that announced a slew of products from the new iMacs, from the M1 base iMacs, as well as their new purple iPhone 12, and last but not least, the Apple AirTags, which is effectively a Bluetooth tracker of sorts for you to put on lost items and devices. So let's go ahead and dive into the box here and showcase what I got for this order. Specifically, I picked up one AirTag here, so one Apple AirTag. Sorry, I know that lighting. There you go. And one Belkin. This is a keyring holder. So the funny thing about this, if you actually notice this, this Belkin product, which is officially sold through Apple, has no naming, no anywhere mentioning of the word AirTag, and that's likely because Belkin had gotten the specs and the idea of what Apple was going to be coming out with ahead of time, but they actually didn't officially name it, and they had no idea what it was going to be named, so they just released this as my assumption. So the AirTags, these retail at $29, $30 per tracker. Keeping in mind they do have replaceable batteries. I personally am coming from the world of, so here's my keys, for example. I carry a ton of stuff, much too much stuff on my keys here, from office keys to just apartment keys. And one of the things that I have on my keychain here is a tile tracker, which effectively is similar, if not the same category of products that the AirTag would fall in. Now, this is a generation like 1 tile tracker, so this battery's already well and dead, and I just haven't removed it from my keys. So this didn't have replaceable batteries, and that's what I'm going to be replacing here with the AirTag. So at $30, not crazy, and at the same time, having the ability to have that replaceable battery is important. So like you're getting longevity out of the product, and you can kind of repurpose it. They sell a 4-pack for $100. So if you have multiple devices, the one kind of caveat here when it comes to the AirTag, as I unbox it here, is the AirTag in itself out of the box is just the tracker without any ability to actually like secure it to your keys. Like the tiles, as I showcased earlier, has the ability to just, by default attach to your key ring or what have you. This doesn't have that. So this is literally just the tag or tracker here. So here it is in the packaging, really minimal, especially with Apple trying to do the whole focus on like environmental friendly packaging. You have the kind of tape there, and if I just peel that plastic, super satisfying. It almost looks like honestly, it looks like you pull this, which I'm assuming will trigger the battery. Yeah, there you go. That sound there as you pull it out triggers it on. This looks like it looks like a button almost, right? Like a pin, a normal like pin button. Pretty thick in comparison. If you're looking at it side by side with the tile here, I know this might not be like the best angle, but it's slightly thicker, if not, yeah, there you go, slightly thicker. So definitely a little heftier to it. You can get these engraved. It takes like an extra couple weeks to get it, so I opted to just get one standard. I didn't really need it engraved for this batch anyway because I wanted to test it out. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and unbox the Belkin holder here. They literally call it secure holder with keyring because, again, they probably didn't have the official like Apple AirTag name when they were manufacturing this. But like I said, you only get the tag. So you could, in theory, like, oops, there it goes. You can, in theory, throw this like in a backpack or like, put it in a pocket of something that you wanted to track, essentially. But for like an actual key setup, which a lot of people might be using it for, just a common thing that people might often misplace, you're going to need to buy something like this from Belkin, which allows you to have like a little ring to attach to your keychain. They sell Apple official ones, like the leather and all that. I personally, while I like the leather look, at like $40, I think, it's the leather strap for this is more expensive than the tag in itself. So, in this case, I opted for the $12. Like this is like a plastic covering, and all you do is it's in 2 pieces. You put the tag in, you snap it like this, and there you go. And then you attach the D-ring to or the little ring, O-ring, I should say, to your keys, and that's all there is to it. Okay, so apparently it's as easy as once you pull that out, you get that little chime noting that it's on. You want to turn Bluetooth on your iOS device, in this case my iPhone, and essentially you just pull it close. And in this case, some features of this accessory require a new version of iOS. So it looks like I got to update. All right, so while my device updates the latest iOS, let's talk a little bit about how this works and the technology behind it. This isn't the full review, obviously, as I need to use it in real world performances, but I want to talk about, the technology and the implications behind the privacy factor, which is really important when it comes to a product like this. At base, how it works is it essentially sends out a secure Bluetooth signal that can be detected by nearby devices in the Find My network. These devices can then send that location to Apple, which then forwards it to your iCloud, and you are the only user, the only point. It goes from point A to point B. Apple doesn't know the location. It doesn't store any of that. The AirTag doesn't store location history, things of that nature. Now, you may be wondering, Bluetooth technology, how does that work if you physically lose the item and you don't have a ability to obviously pair or know where it is? Again, like I mentioned, it pings other iOS devices on the Find My network, and if they pass by, as you can imagine, there's a ton of iOS devices in the world. As they pass by, it then updates the last known location of your said AirTag, then letting you know, again, a more accurate idea of where you left it. This does it all anonymously, all encrypted. It doesn't alert the other users as they pass by that, hey, there's an AirTag here, so that they may be able to take your items. It simply just updates you, the end user, where you last left it. Now, inversely, or not inversely, but on that same kind of spectrum when it comes to privacy, how do they negate this from being used for nefarious purposes or reasons? Or let's say you may accidentally have left it with a friend when you're getting out of a car, things of that nature. If AirTag detects that it gets left behind, so if it gets separated from its owner, and it gets left behind with a person or somebody, or you were to try to put this in somebody's bag or backpack, the way AirTag is designed is if it recognizes that it is traveling with somebody who does not own the AirTag, and its location is constantly moving with another person's iOS device, it will then notify them that, hey, there is an AirTag detected in your presence. Again, that may be unwanted, it might be accidental, and they can then look around physically for it. If they still can't find it, they can play an audible sound to ping it, and once they find it, they can deal with it as needed. I'm curious now in the sense of if they're non-iOS users, how Apple will kind of go about this from a privacy concern perspective, of course, right? Android users and things of that nature. I have to dig more into that whole scenario, but again, it's worth noting because privacy is going to be a big concern when it comes to these type of items. So in terms of actual setup, now that my device is paired and on the new iOS, I simply take this, put it near my iOS device. I should probably unlock my phone here. And if it's close to it, it will then detect, just like that kind of Apple magic there, that there's an AirTag in the vicinity. I will then connect it. It then asks me to name the AirTag here. It's then asking me to register my Apple AirTag to my Apple ID so it knows that I am the owner. And then here it showcases where I'm currently at on a map. It shows the item and gives me some updates about how I can do precision finding, and I can jump to the Find My app now to see exactly where that item is. And if I want to locate it or if I was to lose it, I hit the play sound button. And it plays a pretty loud audible beep here to let me know this is where my keys would be. All right, so now that it is all paired on my iOS device, you can see here within the Find My app, I have the ability to see my keys here. In this case, for this AirTag, I have the ability, as you saw earlier, to play the sound and trigger that. You can turn on notifications and or loss mode. What this is if you actually lose this item and you physically lost it, by enabling the loss mode, it will then alert you anytime, again, anybody in the vicinity who has Bluetooth and Find My on, report, it was pinged or the last known location, so you get access to that. Additionally, with loss mode, it can also tie information, so you can tie a message or a contact number to the AirTag. So if somebody was to physically find the device that you lost in a public area, and they have an iOS device, I'm assuming they have the ability to kind of scan it or use the near field communication kind of technology to pair it next to your phone, and they can see that message that says like, if found, please call or please contact XYZ. So that is the ability to do that through loss mode. Again, you can turn on notifications, and then this Find Nearby button here in the top right. If I was to click this here, it's going to search for a signal. In this case, my keys. And then you can see here with that precise technology that we were talking about earlier, it will tell you and the way I move this around here, you can see as I move this, it uses and showcases an actual arrow. So this is the precise finding. So you can see my tracker over here, as I move it around, it differentiates the signal. It says 3 feet nearby, 4 feet nearby. And the further away I get here, obviously it will tell me more and more, and then it'll showcase an arrow. And then literally as I hover like right over it, it will showcase literally the device is right there. So this is super, precise, and to the point where you can really find exactly where your device is. So with this precision finding, obviously you have much more precise accuracy in terms of if your item is in a drawer or under a couch or what have you, rather than just saying this is the area it's in, like it's in the same room or same building as you. This gives you much more accurate pinpoint where that item actually is when you're trying to find it, which is a nice touch. So that's a quick look at the AirTag. I will be adding this to my keychain now that it's all set up and good to go. Again, just an initial unboxing, setup process, and just kind of overview of how the tech works. We're going to have to test this in more practicality and everyday use. Obviously, this is one of those pieces of technology that you kind of buy, you set, you forget. And the idea is you'll never ideally have to use it, and you'll only need to use it in the event that it actually does get lost. So again, this is a quick look at Apple's latest AirTag. Stay tuned for a full review down the road as I use this more and expand upon attaching it to different devices and my use cases of it. Love to hear your thoughts and comments down below. As always, thanks a lot for watching. Subscribe if you're interested in more content, and as always, catch you in the next video.